have a couple of new quarterbacks in the room like you do, how long does it take to get acclimated to different guys throwing the ball?
It really does take kind of a while. So it's kind of an accelerated process with Brandon only coming in this summer. Mike at least has been here since spring football, so I've gotten some reps with him, and obviously Peyton last season. So it's been a lot of work trying to get on the same page with all three of them because all three of them can play. But it's also exciting just to see them compete with each other.
Do they all throw different balls? I mean, or is it some of the same kind of?
Well, Mike's a lefty, so it is a little bit different. But as far as like how fast the ball is actually coming out, it's pretty similar, and they all have really good arms.
We all were in the photo of everybody running 22 miles an hour. Is that unusual? I mean, to have a stable quarterback so they can all go like that?
Yeah, it is unusual.
They're faster than you?
No.
Just wanted to clear that up.
But close. Yeah, so they're definitely pushing me because I don't want a quarterback faster than me. Yeah, no, those guys are really athletic, and I think that's important in this league, especially because you have such fast D linemen that are chasing you. So for those guys that all have that extra ability is huge for us.
Can you talk about Westbrook and maybe how he's developed in his rehab?
He's actually faster than he was, and that's a testament to Dr. Rhea and Coach Blue, strength staff. But he's worked his tail off to get back, and I think that you'll actually see a better player in him because he's really had some time to reflect and get his mind right, and he's hungry. So, yeah, you're going to see a really good player in Nick Westbrook.
What would make him better?
Well, I mean, like I noted, just his speed. So you'll see a faster player, and he's bigger and stronger. So it was kind of like a redshirt year for him. I don't think the injury has been holding him back at all, but he's just had time to develop mentally and physically. So I think it actually benefited.
How about Donovan Hale in the same way? Coming back from the injury and losses, and how's he been doing?
He's been doing really well. They've been kind of easing Donovan back into things, not rushing it because there's until fall camp we don't need to rush anything. But he's been doing really well. I like what I see from him.
How inspirational is it to have Jason Harris around in terms of what he's been through and looking about as fast as he's ever looked from what I've heard?
Yeah, no, I can't believe how fast he still is. It's truly incredible, and it really is inspiring to have Jay Sean around. He's great to have, especially with the young guys, to see, injuries are almost inevitable at this point. Everyone's going to experience them one way or another, whether it's severe or not severe. So to have a guy that can overcome 3 major knee injuries and still come back and play, it's encouraging for our entire team.
What's it like going against Jonathan Crawford in practice every day?
It's fun. It's really fun, man. He's a great player. He's very good in coverage, so that's important for me. So my outlook is kind of, if I can beat John, then I can beat anyone in this league. And so I like to work different things against him, and we go at it.
Just for you personally, go from transferring as a walk-on, getting a scholarship down here, representing Indiana, what's that maybe mean to you?
It means a lot. It really does. I'm so honored to be here, representing my team and my university. It really is a cool experience for me and my family, and I've come a long way, obviously. So it's. I'm not normally someone to sit back and reflect on things, but this is something I'm really taking in and enjoying.
Just your Indiana career hasn't been what you thought it might be when you decided to transfer.
Well, you know what? I've kind of raised my standards every single year. So, as a walk-on, when you're told that you're not good enough, for a long period of time, recruiting speaks for itself, you're not getting recruited, then you kind of do second guess yourself. But once I started, proving myself year in and year out, then now my standards are so much higher. And, this year is different. Like, I'm expecting to be first team All-Big Ten. Those are my expectations. And I will say those weren't mine last year. So the bar's been raised for me every single year.
With those expectations in mind, how did you go about getting better this offseason? How do you feel that you're better now?
I'm better in the film room. That's like the first thing that comes to mind. I spent a lot of time this summer in the film room, watching NFL tape, watching defenses, studying coverages, getting with my coaches who know a lot about the game. So I think that there was a lot of room for improvement in that area, and also my speed. I'm a lot faster. So.
What were some of the things that stood out from the NFL tape that you watched? Were there maybe specific teams or specific players that you maybe paid close attention to?
Especially, when I watch an NFL tape, I try to find guys that my skill set, like height and weight, relates to them. So, for instance, Kupp plays for the Rams. He's a guy who runs a lot of option routes. He's extremely patient. And I've learned patience from him. That's one thing that comes to mind. And you can tell that he understands the game really well. And, I think that'll help me as well.
What did you derive from Mitchell Page, who's a walk-on kid, came in, played slot, did well? I mean, did you draw anything from him, his experience?
Yeah, for sure. He definitely made my road easier because I was able to see that a kid like us, put in our position, can succeed. So that helped me really change my mindset earlier. It was to be able to see that, he could succeed. Why can't I? I thought I was good enough. He thought he was good enough, and you just got to go out and prove it.
Can you golf with him?
I'm not nearly as good. I did learn some things from him though. Yeah, he's good. He's a good golfer. He's a great athlete overall. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Mitch.
Yeah.
Anybody else in the wide receiver room since you've been in Indiana that you've learned a lot from?
Ricky Jones. Learned a lot from him. He's not the biggest guy either. And one thing I did learn from him was releases because, especially in my sophomore year, I had to play on the outside, and you go against some big corners, big fast corners, and so he was really, really good with his hands, and that was something that I tried to learn from him. And I've kind of brought that to the slot now. When I get pressed by the safeties or linebackers, you got to be good with your hands because those guys are strong. So for sure, Ricky.
Is it hard to believe that you're a senior?
Yeah. No.
Has it gone by fast or slow?
So when people ask me that, it's gone by fast and slow. Like now that I'm looking back, I've been through so much, but at the same time, I'm like, I can't believe I only have 1 year left of college football. I mean, it really is crazy. So I'm just gonna try to, soak up every ounce I can.
This is the second time in 3 years you guys have opened at Florida International. What do you remember about that game? It was a Thursday night game, I think, a couple of years ago. But
Yes.
the coach talks about how hot it is and how it stays hot even after the sun goes down.
For sure. So we've been training. Our runs have been at 4 p.m. throughout the entire summer, and that's important because, like you said, it is going to be hot down there. So that's definitely the first thing that comes to mind. But also, any Florida school has a lot of speed. So regardless of what conference they're playing in, they're going to be able to run, and so that's something that we need to be aware of. And just be ready to play.
I've seen a lot of Florida wide receivers, but I mean, you now have the sole bragging rights from Texas now that Richard's gone, I guess.
Right, I do. Yeah. I'm very proud to be from Texas, and I definitely wear it with pride. I actually tried to start my own nickname, Big Tex. Only like 10 people call me Big Tex, but it's just so people remember where I'm from. Yeah. I know you're not supposed to start your own nickname, but I tried.
What did it mean to you to get that scholarship after you have it?
It means a lot. I really did stress about it because I had felt like I had earned one, but it's not my decision, it's the coach's decision. And I wanted it, I wanted it for my family because I had, really worked so hard for that. And that was really the first thing that I wanted to accomplish as a football player was earn a scholarship for my family. So finally getting it was a great feeling.
What are some of your goals and for the team that you want to accomplish in this upcoming season?
And this season?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, over the rest of the summer and into the season.
Okay, yeah. So just really finding our identity going into fall camp is important, and also like we have a good group of leaders at the top, but kind of bring in some other guys, up to that level and up to that standard. So leadership's gonna have to be huge. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I heard something at the luncheon that one of the coaches said that the great teams, the players lead. So, you need to be able to correct a player before a coach does, and just holding each other accountable. So I think accountability is going to be huge for us, and also just believing in ourselves. We've been so close these past couple of years, and we can't let that tag along with us going into this season. So just believing that we're going to win these games and not taking no for an answer. Wes is funny because strongest guy on our team by far, but he's also like the most in his shell. Normally you think of like the big strong guy to be like outgoing and loud and stuff, and he's not at all. And he's also really, really smart. So it's kind of hard to describe him, but he's just a great guy overall.
Is there any moment that something that he said or something he did that was really funny that or even a time where you showed leadership, with the younger players?
See, that's another thing is I'm sure something will come to my head after this, but he kind of leads by example more than anything. I actually challenge him because I need him to be vocal, and this team needs him to be vocal. And like I said, he is kind of in his shell, but he does everything right. So for a young guy, if you want to learn how to be elite in this league and really just be a great man overall, watch that guy.
Coach Allen described you as consistent, dependable, two words you used. How important is it to have that guy as a leader on your offensive line, especially in a division that has some really good defense?
Yeah, it's huge. He's very smart. He studies the game and consistent. That's one thing that kept getting brought up last year, and I think he'll even be more consistent this year. I'm expecting the guys around him to be at a lot higher level this year too, and I think that'll help him out. So he won't be straining to try to do too much. But he really does lead that group, and like I said, he doesn't exactly do it vocally all the time, but if you just watch him work, that's all you really need to do.
Luke, do you expect to play out there a lot with Wop this year?
Yes.
And who's going to be the slot receiver in that situation?
So I think that'll unfold itself in fall camp. They've had me start working some routes on the outside. I could definitely see some packages with both of us being in the slot, 10 personnel. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know that he'll be on the field a lot. So if that means me getting in a different position, it definitely could happen.
What were your impressions of